Hi there, Canucks and friends, and welcome to the Canucks Captures Chronicles. Today we're joined by Rixx Jarvix and Demsnow for an exciting brand new show concerning the brand new game. And here we go.
EVE Online. Lost 23,000 years in the future, our group of space Canucks are sorry in advance. I'm Ben, and
I'm Dan.
your Hoosers from the Great Wide North, here to decode the mysteries of wormholes, tame the unruly drones with the Timmy in our hands, and keep you, fellow Capsuleers, in the loop about all things EVE Online, from Canada to the edge of New Eden. So grab your double, kick back, and let's dive into the Canucks Capsuleers Chronicles. So get ready, set, and about we go!
Here we go. So,
Yeah.
Hi there! Okay, for a moment I thought that Dem was frozen in place or something.
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm good.
Okay,
I'm
great.
beautiful. Everything is fine.
So, hi there, Rixx. Hi there, Dam, and welcome everyone to the Canucks Capsuleers Chronicles. So, hi there, Rixx. Long time no see.
Hey Ben, hey Dave. Yeah, where have you guys been? I haven't seen you all so long. Um,
Yeah. Well, last time we spoke, like in here, it was concerning your store that was closing for 2 weeks after that reopening.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
I
right.
remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, over the summer. Yeah.
Yes, well, now we're back with you because you're like really involved in a big project that is like really interesting. We've been seeing like people playing that game all around. Could you like maybe like give us like an overview of the project and like how it started and everything?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm very excited to talk about it. It's been something that I've not been able to talk about for so long. I had to go like a whole year without telling anybody much. I know last time that I was on the show, we talked about the store and stuff, and I was like kind of beating around the bush about the project, and I believe that we talked before FanFest. Yeah, and so after FanFest, obviously we did a presentation there with the board game, and we had 2 tables set up for people to play it, and so everybody who came to FanFest had an opportunity to see it. And there you go, yeah, some of the pictures, and those are two people that I work with at Titan Forge, and then of course that's Anna and Berger there playing one of the games, and so it was. Those were early days, even for us. I mean, that was good 6 months after we got started on the project. So just so everybody knows, the project started for me back in February of last year. I was contacted by a friend who's a friend of mine now. I didn't know him at the time, but Jed from Titan Forge. We worked together every day on this project, and he was looking for somebody in the EVE community who could help Titan Forge, with some artwork and some designs and things. They weren't really sure what they were looking for, and so we started having a conversation, and it just kind of turned into, hey, I mean, this is just. It was like a dream project got dropped in my lap, and I told him at the time, I said, if I don't work on this and I go to FanFest and I see a board game that I haven't worked on, I'm going to be very, very upset about it. So, my background, I guess if you guys don't know, is primarily in advertising and marketing for my professional career. But I was very fortunate in the 90s to work with Fleer and Marvel Entertainment on trading cards and X-Men cards and Fleer cards, and we developed a card game back then for them called Marvel Overpower, which turned into DC Overpower and some other things. But that was a very exciting time, and I've been trying to get CCP interested in doing some, card games and things like that over the years. So this game just kind of came out of nowhere, and it was something that I was super excited to be a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So looking at this here, because I've been listening to a bunch of YouTube videos, and I don't.
Right.
There are some things that do not look the same. Well, first, I'm guessing that this is like the oversized version.
That is the oversized. Yes, that's the oversized version. Yeah.
Yeah, and like there are like those structure here. Will we get those structure? Because I haven't seen them in the video.
I can't comment on that because that may or may not be a stretch goal or something that's coming along in the campaign.
Okay, so like this one we can talk about. It is pink now.
Right. Yeah, there is a Pink Keepstar that was based on the Goon Keepstar down in Delve, and that was unlocked with 1,000 shares of the Kickstarter. So that was one of the early things. So that's coming in every pack that anybody orders. Will contain a Pink Keepstar.
Awesome.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, and those are still like the photo that you gave us back in last time we talked. Right.
Yeah, that's right. So it was after FanFest.
Yeah, we sure did. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, now we got like more of those that you sent me. Because let's say so that's you with the guy at Titan Forge. I do recognize him because on one of the updates that I got in my mail, he was carrying the box.
Yep. He's got that's Roman. His name's Roman, and he's the creative director at Titan Forge.
Yeah.
I guess they took him because it's little, so the box looks like bigger.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure.
But that excuse me. So here's the story behind that, which is kind of funny because we're standing in front of the 200% version, and we discussed this. So they wanted to do something that would make a splash at FanFest, right? So that everybody could see the board game, and the board game is, I mean, even on normal size, it's relatively large when you get it all set out and put out on a table, but it's still, kind of small. So they decided that the best way to show it off would be to create a 200% version. So the board is 200% bigger, the ships are 200% bigger, and it was only ever intended to be a presentation piece. Hey, we put it out on the front table at FanFest so that people could see it without having to go into the back tables and actually play the game. And Roman I asked him, I said, when I saw it, it was the first time I'd met them in real life at FanFest, and I saw the table, and I was like, every single EVE player that comes up to this table is going to want to know if they can have it at 200%. And he just laughed. He said, "No, this is just for presentation. There's no way that we can make this. If it costs too much money, it's ridiculous. No, it's never going to happen." And after 2 days, I went, as they were, the FanFest was winding down, I went up to him and I said, "So?" And he goes, "Yeah, we're probably going to have to make a 200% version." Because
Yeah, I think players are willing to pay for
I think he misjudged the interest of players and how much they'd want. Well, there's 100. In the base game, there's I think 112 miniatures. That's 112 EVE spaceships, and yeah, we're just crazy about that kind of stuff, and we love our spaceships, and and people, I've heard it a million times. They want to get a hold of them and paint them and treat them like 40K miniatures, and have their own fleet fights and everything, and I can't blame them. That's what. Even if I wasn't involved in this, I would support the Kickstarter, honestly, just to get my hands on the miniatures and and also the ship cards, because they're awesome too. But because it's just great to have that many miniatures around.
Yeah, like the ship cards, like we saw a few here and there's in the YouTube video, but they're amazing. Like The
Yeah.
So yeah,
wig. Yes.
I have my Astero, from
Uh,
wherever that was from, and then I have
Put it on the other
Hyperion.
side of the screen, please. Because, yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean we love our spaceships, So
Oh.
that one sits on my desk every day and looks at me. I also have a Hyperion and a couple of others, but those were from that I think that Chinese company.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember,
A few years back.
but
Yeah.
yeah, a few years back. So
Yeah.
excuse me. So yeah, it's I got started on this in really in March. They contacted me in February, and then so we've been working on it ever since. But it's been an incredible journey, and it's been pretty awesome. They're amazing people, and there's 2 EVE players that work at Titan Forge, so they know what they're talking about when it comes to EVE. And then there's one other guy who used to play. But no longer plays. So there's a lot of EVE knowledge there. And one of the things that I like to tell everyone who asks me about it is this isn't something that CCP went out and looked for. This was something that Titan Forge went to them for, and they've been after CCP to do this project for a couple of years. So it wasn't even a spur of the moment thing. They really had a passion for EVE in the company, and they wanted to do this with CCP. And it just took a couple years to get their attention and get a chance to have a sit down with them and show them, some of the other games and the models that they've made, and everything just sort of got kicked off at the right time. I think it's the perfect time for this sort of thing. So we've been very fortunate.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah. So, what's the current state of the game like right now with the Kickstarter and everything? Like, where are we in its development?
Right. So normally a game like this would take a few years to put together. And it has been, like I said, about a year, a little over a year since everybody got started on it. So, and we're looking at delivery, sometime by the end of this year, in December of 2024. So that's about a 2-year time span. So that's pretty normal. For a company like Titan Forge, they're not a huge, multi-billion-dollar corporation or anything. They're just a small, outfit in Poland. And they've done a couple of board games before, and they do have a very robust Patreon, and they do a lot of like miniature work and model work. And Kickstarter just makes a lot of sense, because how do you judge the demand for something like this, right? So how you just go to a factory and make 5,000 of these units, and then they just sit on shelves, and we know that from past history with CCP. We talked about this, I think, with my store. They've had bad experiences in the past with making things and then putting them in a warehouse and then not being able to sell them, and then having, a warehouse full of, danger games and models and other things. So it's hard to judge the interest of the EVE community, and Kickstarter is a great way to do that. So everyone who pledges is saying, yeah, this is something that I would want. And that tells them, how many units to make, and it also gives a boost on the financials and the economics, and makes it make sense for them to put an investment in. Because I can tell you right now, all those models that you saw at FanFest or you see in these videos, those are from 10 prototypes that were built by hand at Titan Forge in-house. So all the cardboard, the printing, the ships, the models, all those are prototypes. Those were handmade at Titan Forge. Those aren't off a factory or anything like that. So for real, when they go to do the miniatures, they're going to be PVC resin that's poured into metal dies. And those metal die trays they're metal etched and everything from that, but they're not cheap. They're very expensive. It's quite an expensive process, and it takes a lot of investment to make it happen. So again, that's another reason why you'd want to know ahead of time before you commit to something like that. What is the demand? And that holds true for the 200% too. So that's also why it's like, well, we'll make it 200%. But even last week, right before the Kickstarter, we really had no idea what the demand for something like that would be. And then it's only through going through the Kickstarter and talking to people. And I've been very active in the comment section, and so is everybody at Titan Forge, because we want to hear from people who are pledging. What is it that you want? What do you like about it? What do you don't like? And I can assure you that every single one of those comments we're listening to and paying attention to, because we do. This is for the fans. This is for the EVE community. It's not. There's not a big board of directors that's deciding. This is the way it should go. Titan Forge, wants to do a product that the EVE community is going to love and want to play and have for years. And so we're listening to the feedback and comments that we're getting, and then making changes and updating things. So, excuse me, I'm getting a dry throat there, but yeah, so it's pretty cool.
You may drink now. Well, that's actually really awesome to hear. But could you talk to us a little bit more about the cards, the packaging, and the design and all that kind of stuff? Because here, it's
right,
it's awesome.
So, yeah, thank you. So like I said, I had some experience putting card games together and then getting nasty cease and desist letters from CCP, but. So I had some ideas of where I wanted to go, and the way when we started, all we really had was, hey, we want to do an EVE board game, and some general concept about how that might look and how that might work. But at the beginning, we didn't have stats, we didn't have any rules or anything. So early on, we made the decision to focus on designing the ship cards for the ships, because we knew the miniatures would be very important to the game, and that each of the miniatures would have a card with stats on it and things like that. So my first job was and those are some of the early designs that I did. My first goal was to try to design a ship card that would showcase the ships and then leave room for the stats. But you can see, even in the Caracal, that's an early design concept that I did. There's no room for any copy, because we had no idea how much copy there would be or how many stats there would be. So we just left it.
I have a question.
Yeah, am I mistaken, or that Caracal looks like a Cerberus?
It is actually a Cerberus. Yeah.
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 Sorry.
No, it's okay, because you have to remember, and that card there, because we didn't have any copy. So I just called that that thing in space, and if you read the copy, it's all just bull. It's just all bullshit, BS that I made up. So.
Oops.
When you're working so much on something, one of the things, it entertains me to make up stuff, and also to make mistakes, like putting the Caracal name on a Cerberus card. Mm-hmm. I just find it funny, and I did a lot of that, during the development. It would drive Jed crazy sometimes, but I just find it humorous. It just amuses me and keeps me entertained.
Yeah, I'll have to be careful of what I'm showcasing, because it might not be the good thing with
it could be, yeah.
Yeah, and on this one here, those are all concept of the game. I'm guessing for covers and stuff. For
the big box, yeah, for the box that would hold all of the game inside of it. That was the second thing that we really started working on, or I started designing, was what does the game even look like? We had gone through a process of trying to find out what the ship cards look like, but then what does the game look like? What's the box look like? How does it sit on a shelf? We wanted it to be something that would be distinct, that would sit on the shelf, and have a presence. But then what is that? And also partly too, because we didn't know what the game was even then. We were just starting to learn a little bit more about it and how it was going to work. So I just started throwing concepts together. Somebody over at Titan Forge, I think it was the creative director, Roman, or somebody, had an idea of ships coming out of a gate. Like a whole fleet of ships. So you can see in the early part, there's ships coming out of gates, and there's a lot of that, and then people standing in front of ships, and then maybe it's about the characters, or maybe we just get rid of the ships at all. It's just a graphic front. So in order to kind of decide, you have to see it, right? So I kept designing and designing and designing until we came up with the final one that we all started really liking, which was turning that around so that it was somebody standing in the sort of like in a control room, looking out at a fleet that was going off to do war for war in New Eden.
Really, really look like. And you also sent me this one.
Yeah, so that I thought that would be interesting for people to see, because that's kind of a work in progress on the final. And what does the interior of a ship hangar look like, with a dude standing in front of a control desk? So I think I did 3 or 4 different versions of that as well. So that's kind of, I hand drew, and I would draw the inside of it in Illustrator and then import it into Photoshop and then use that to paint the interiors. So it's just a piece of art that you wouldn't normally see.
Nice.
Kind of cool to see that, and I shared that on Twitter the other day too. And it's I like it. I kept it because I think it's pretty cool to see, sort of the wireframe for that. It's not 3D. That's all hand done.
Mm-hmm. It's actually looks really nice. I'll
this I'm just gonna put the link of your Discord, because not Discord, or your Twitter, because you have really interesting content. So
thank you. Thanks, Nick. I got a lot more to share too. Just been anxious to share it with everybody, but I've been playing by the rules under the NDAs and stuff. But
yeah, we understand
it's pretty neat. Yeah, thanks.
Well,
so just to reiterate, that image is the final image that I created, and then what we decided was they have an illustrator, and they have a couple of illustrators in house, and one of them took a shot at doing it as well. And so what we ended up doing for the final box is that it's kind of a combination of my work and their work together. So that's kind of a neat thing, I think. It's the final box art is a little bit of me and a little bit of them as well, and that's kind of neat.
Yeah, like a real collaboration where you work as a team. That's nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. You also sent me I'm looking at this one here. So okay, I've got the vagabond that might not be a vagabond. Then I got the Griffin's Navy.
No, that really is a.
It is.
So if anybody's been to my store at rixxjarvix.com, they might recognize the Griffin Navy from a poster that I did. So that was pre-existing art that I used early on. This is still a concept, one of the cards that I did very, very early on in the process. And the Vagabond, which is actually, that is a final card that's in the game with all the graphics and text and everything taken off of it. So it's just 100% of the art. And then you could also see that each of the spaceship cards, excuse me, has an illustration of the spaceship coming out of the fitting window, but it also has an top view schematic of the ship as well. And each one, it's like a little blueprint of the ship, yeah. And so that's a piece of art as well. And we thought that might help non-players identify the miniatures, because you mostly see the miniatures from the top view. Because as you all know, a lot of these ships have very odd shapes, and you can't always tell, from the 3D of them coming at you, what their real shape is. So we thought that would be a neat little thing to have on each of the cards.
Yeah, indeed. That's actually really smart, because I do remember back when I started the game that all cavalry ship look the same.
Right. Very
it looks like a potato. Well, it's Galante.
Yeah, the funny part is you do that for one, and it looks great. It looks great on the Vagabond, but then there's a whole bunch of ships that doesn't look necessarily all that good, but you kind of have to stick with it. That was another debate too. Should the Ishtar and the Sin, they're kind of just round blobs. Should they be from the side instead? And then we just decided that we were going to be consistent across all of them and just keep doing it the same way, no matter what.
Yeah, because at least they got two view sets of the ship, so
yeah. You should get it. I think even non-players would understand which miniature on the board is the Vagabond.
I'm sure we'll get comments about that. Well, actually, I'll have some because I'm ordering the game too.
Right.
And yeah, like I've got like a bunch of non-Eve player that I want to play this game with, and I want to see like what they're gonna say.
Yeah.
You also sent me those here.
Yeah, a lot of things that you don't talk about. It's not unusual if I talk about doing spaceship art. I mean, people have known for years, that I do that, but a lot more goes into the game than just designing the cards and also doing the spaceship art. There's a lot of design work that goes into it, and this is my works. This is kind of the file that I keep in Adobe Illustrator, where I design an icon or a piece of graphic or something like that. I just throw it into that file, so everything's in one spot. And so that's all the icons and background graphics and pieces of art to go on tokens and the asteroid mining stuff and just everything that went into little icons for the size of the ships and just structures and everything. Just hundreds and hundreds of them.
That's actually pretty neat.
It's kind of cool seeing it all together. I think it's kind of like a mess, but.
And I'm guessing that there's stuff like into that like are like kind of semi-secrets.
No, not really. No, I don't think so.
I hope so.
No,
I hope not. So sorry.
To keep it so secret that he's not gonna say that's secret.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a clever idea.
Anyway, we're sorry in advance, so
Excellent.
we're covered.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see a lot. You can see in the middle there you can see a green blob. That's sort of the start of one of the illustrations. Or I did 4 illustrations of Eve minerals and megasite and tritanium and the other 2. I can't. Mexilon and morphite. And the thing is about those drove me crazy because there's no real good reference anywhere really of what the heck those things really look like. The icons are very, very tiny. There's 72 DPI 72 pixels by 72 pixels in the game. And what does Eve minerals really look like? And so that one, those 4 took me a good while to get right and get them to where I thought. And it was funny today on the stream. There were a couple people who were like, "Wow, it's really good to see that they got the minerals right in the Eve." I was really happy to hear that because,
nice.
Yeah, the color, and the texture and all that was driving me nuts. I didn't want to make a mistake.
Well,
I have a lot of respect for.
Job.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. And that's another thing too. As you're working on all this stuff, you want to do it right, and you want to make sure it's Eve. And that it translates properly, and the passion's coming through it, but also, it's not just about my perspective on the game as a pirate or as a PvPer, but it's also the perspective of my friends, right, who are explorers and nullsec people and wormhole people and people who fly stealth bombers and people who fly procurers and people who, just on and on and on. And I tried really hard to represent as many of those different aspects of the game as humanly possible, even just from an art perspective. But I think that Titan Forge did a good job of working a lot of that into the actual mechanics of the game as well. So,
yeah,
kind of proud of that. I hope it works out.
It does really look great. Like, actually, I can't wait to have one in my hands and like really take the time to look at every single piece. It's gonna be great.
Yep, there's all the blueprints that were done for the
Yeah. So I'm happy to see that there's only like one big turkey ship.
The Gila.
Oh, wasn't it I don't know, like the front of the Onyx, or like like there's so many of them.
We should probably hold a contest, see if you could name them all. Can you name them all?
Okay, well, we've got the MOA in T1. We got the Onyx in T2, but there's like another one with guns.
The Eagle.
The Eagle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Then the pirate Gila. Yeah. So 4 of them.
Yeah. So if your eagle-eyed viewers might notice that there are a couple of pirate ships in there. And that's from the Havoc expansion, which is the pirate expansion. There's the Kizriel and the Mecha Ball and the Mamba. Those are the 3 up in the corner. And then also the Mercurial. I forgot that I put the Mercurial in there. So there's the Mercurial as well.
Yeah, the Mercurial is there. The Ferox. Which one is this one?
That's the Mamba.
Oh, okay. I haven't.
Yeah, we don't know it.
Yeah, it's the new pirate destroyer.
Yeah.
That's based on the Corax.
Okay, which is not a ship I fly much. Okay, and that's the
one
bomber,
flies.
right?
That's the Mecha Ball from the top, which looks very, very strange. But from the front, it looks like a giant Tristan.
Oh, yeah. I do remember.
A little bit.
Yeah. Those sell really well.
They're awesome. They're really cool ships, but they look weird from the top. See, that's another one. It's like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
That's a mandala.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to color it. You're gonna feel better.
You just have to feel it. Yep, exactly.
Yes. Nice. Oh, wait a minute. One of those are a scorpion, and the other one is a rattlesnake, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I guess the big one is the rattlesnake.
I'd have to look. I think that's the scorpion actually, and I think the other one is the rattlesnake.
Oh yeah. There's the Grista symbol there.
Yeah, it's very hard to tell. Yeah, the cool part is that the not only do we use these on the spaceship cards, but I created a pattern, almost like a wallpaper pattern with these schematics, and in the inside of the box, the linen inside is this in royal blue on the inside of the big box. So when you take all the stuff out of the box to put it on a table to play it, the inside of the big box is this, well, not this pattern, but a pattern like this with all the spaceships printed all through the box, which is kind of a cool.
Nice. And here we got the final box is it the final box? Like we got like the little.
Yep, that's the final box. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Because I was starting to wonder like if there was gonna be like another one, but like there's been like the linen version of the box that we'll be getting for those that are into the Kickstarter.
Yes. Yep.
Nice. Well, we've been talking about Kickstarter a lot, so let's have a look there. Actually, So, and going up. So it's in Canadian dollars, so that's why.
I like Canadian dollars. It makes it look much bigger than it.
But I was.
You guys were talking about that last night, and I thought that was hysterical.
Yeah, well, we were looking at that, and I was like, man, they cannot even follow their own thing, because like we're like above like 500,000, and like when we were looking at the add-on, they're not even there. I'm like, well, they're lagging behind.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, it's doing really well. So I'm very happy about that.
So like the initial objective, like I don't know what it was in euro, but like it has been achieved under 24 hours, right?
Yeah, it was like a couple of hours actually that we passed that, and that's a little bit of a Kickstarter trick that companies do. They set the initial goal as a little bit small, so that you can get past it fast, and then you can tell everybody that you exceeded the initial goal in under 2 hours or whatever. So it's just kind of a little bit of a promotional tactic.
Yeah, I just sent Ben the right number, not
like
the Canadian one.
the right number, the euro number, because Canadians is the right numbers here.
Oh, sorry.
It's all real money.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
So, for those that never used like Kickstarter, what are like the big advantage that people will get if they go through the Kickstarter instead of waiting a year and getting it from a shelf?
It's actually quite significant to be early on a game like this, because not only are you going to be paying a reduced price that you would in a retail. Well, think about it this way: if we produce a bunch of games and they want to sell it in a store, what's the first thing the store is going to do? They're going to mark up the price so that they can make a profit too. So they bought it from us for X number of dollars, and then they're going to mark it up 25 to 30% in order to sell it to you. So you're going to be paying that markup. We're not putting a markup on it now. I mean, other than whatever it is. So right there, you're saving money over what you would buy in the retail. But then on the other side of it is that the Kickstarter has a lot of stretch goals, things that you can unlock, like the Pink Keepstar. If you scroll down, you'll see a bunch of them. There's special trays and special, additional things that you can get.
We'll come back to them, but
right.
Yeah,
the stretch goals. Those are the add-ons.
We're still in the
and that's
add-ons.
the collector. Oh, there you go. Yeah. So component models and linen finish, and then 3 system tiles, and then we're running a contest in the community for people to suggest new event cards. We've had like Kriba wrote and said, we should do one about the Veldknot, the dreadnought that he has that mines in Amar. And Katya Say, wrote and said we should do one about me breaking going to visit every system. And so we're taking it suggestions from the community about event cards that we'll create and I'll do art for, and then there'll be real cards that we'll put into the game. Mm-hmm. And so so things like that, and then thicker card stock, so that the cards look better and they last longer. Just, and you're not going to get all of that when if you bought it at a retail store. Yeah.
And now you said that we just reached 400. Is that what I heard?
Yeah. So we just unlocked that today. So tomorrow they'll put a green thing on that one. So we have control flag models. So the next thing is the inlay boxes where each of the miniatures will fit into things that keep them from sliding around. So that's kind of a neat one.
Yay. And we got that, and then after that's going to be the minerals model.
Yep. And then we have a whole bunch of other stuff that's planned too. So keep the train rolling. Yep.
That's really, really, really neat. And we're not even a week in this Kickstarter, so it's just amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing.
So if we go through everything that we got in there's a Pink Keepstar.
Pink Keepstar. Yes, it's not like our usual stretching goal because it's not with money, it's with sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does actually have a secret use though. Would you like to know what the secret use is?
Yes.
So this is again 100% maybe not true, but this is what I have heard, that the Pink Keepstar has a kind of a suction cup base that you can use it to turn the tiles over. So instead of picking the tiles, so when you start the game, all the tiles are on their backside, so they're blank. They just have a move symbol on them. And as you explore, you flip the tiles over, and the Pink Keepstar can be used to help you flip the tiles over.
Oh, that's why the base is like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Yep. So secret use for the Pink Keepstar.
That's great.
I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, because after a certain time, getting the edge would actually
you might damage the edge. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, I like it. Nice.
Yeah, and they're looking into some other solutions for that too. Maybe even a little divot, where you can put your finger. But they haven't decided on any of that yet.
Yeah, and we spoke about that last time, extension, and now with the Kickstarter we saw 3 extension. What can you tell us about those?
Now, those are called expansions, and there are 2 expansions. There's the Havoc expansion, which adds a whole other player to the game. So the game is a 2 to 4 player game, and each player represents one of the empires of Eve. So you've got the Galenti, the Amara, the Minotaur, and the Caldari. Havoc introduces Deathless as a pirate player, so that can be 5 players. And he has his own ships and his own cards and his own way to play the game. So he has a separate rule book that comes with the Havoc. So he's not playing the game the same way the other 4 players are playing the game. He's there to corrupt and do corruption and take over systems and play the game in his own with his own set of rules, which I just think is awesome. I laugh every time I say it because it's just funny. I think it's awesome.
Yeah.
What a great idea. He has his own ships, his own pirate fleet, and his own way of playing the game. So it's pretty cool. And then the other expansion is Titans. So each empire can build a Titan. And the really cool part is, and I don't know that this has been communicated very well up till now, but each of the Titans comes in pieces. So you build each of the Titans is in 4 pieces. So you build one piece, and then you have to build another. And the Titans are assembled, so you can put them together and watch them being constructed on the other players' a section of the map. And I think that's pretty awesome that they you can watch them go together and live in dread that the avatar for the Amar player is almost completed. So that's kind of a neat thing that I don't know that a lot of people know, but that's pretty awesome too.
Yeah, well, I know it's written downside that you need to put the pieces together, but I was thinking that it's just to put in from the box onto the game, but in the game you need to build all each separate sections.
Yeah, otherwise we'd just build Titans, with just one piece, and then you'd stick it on a stand, and there would be your Titan. But I think it's awesome that you have to construct them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So a little bit of shipbuilding. So for people who like to build ships, and then of course, Deathless needs his Titan too. So there's an Azariel box that contains the Azariel, the Deathless Titan as well. So.
Nice.
And then let me explain something too. We talked about the 200% version, and people wanting to paint their ships. There's an alternative to that as well, and that's the collector's boxes. So in the core game, there's 112 ships, and you can see how many ships you get with each empire. In the collector's boxes, you get one of each ship at 200% size, but only of that empire. So if you're a Caldari fan or a Galenti fan, or if you want all 4 of them, but there's only 8 ships in each of those boxes, and they're at 200%. So those are specifically made for people who want to paint a fleet but don't want to mess up the ships that are in the game. At one point, we were even talking about having paint in the box with the miniatures. That just didn't work out, but we were thinking about, having little jars of paint and paintbrushes and stuff, making it like a little craft box. But as you can imagine, it's probably better just to let people paint their ships the colors they want instead of telling them what to do.
Yeah,
it's gonna take a lot of time.
I know, Warhammer, enthusiasm will have their own stuff.
Oh yeah, they're very, very serious about their miniature painting.
Oh yeah,
And doing fantastic work. I mean, some of the things that you see are just amazing. I don't know how they do it.
Okay. Constructions.
But yeah, if you look at the construction tile of the Titan, you can see that there's 4 sections and 4 black pieces there that go together to make that avatar.
Yeah, but are those take the place of existing system on the board, or are they underneath?
They're add-ons, yeah. They get added on.
Okay.
If you scroll down just a little bit, you'll see where the player card. There's a section there. Go up a little bit.
Up. Okay.
Right there. Go down a little bit. Keep going under the right there.
Okay.
So see how that adds on to the player board, and then the Titan card, the hexagons will add on to the actual play mat.
Okay.
Just like that.
To the play mat.
Yep. It'll just be on the Empire side, where your Empire card section is.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna be somewhere here.
Right there, yeah, right in the corner, in the 4 corners.
Oh, okay, like that. Okay. Looks Okay. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's an actual. Nobody's ever asked me that one before. It's
yeah. Well, like I'm like okay. Well, like I lose.
Where does this stuff go?
Yeah. Because like 3 systems seems like a lot when like you need to get resources and everything. So yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So we got those. There are like Titan Tech card because we're guessing that we don't only get like a ray of death from those Titans. We got like some utilities too.
Mm-hmm. Right, and you got some new things you can do with those ships that are unique to them.
Yeah, so doing gate to gate or going like to flex at an asteroid belt.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are. I don't think anybody knows what they are right now. I think we're in the process of making that up. I think is what it is.
There's a rule books and
for the Titans.
Yeah, but all the pages are blank right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like there's headlines, like point forms.
I don't know if it's that bad. I they probably have a good idea of what they're doing, but I don't know that it's been part of the challenge with Titans and with the Havoc is balance, right? Making sure that all this balances out, that each player has an equal opportunity to do something, right?
Yeah.
So that's the challenge, and that's what takes the time is play testing it over and over and over again, and taking notes and making modifications and being sure that everything's working the way it's intended.
Yeah.
And then with the Titans, you also get double-sided art cards of Rixx Jarvix art of each of the Titans. So that's kind of a neat thing.
Really? Huh. Oh, that's
you
nice.
get four Titan art cards.
Great. Okay, yeah, those ones here. Oh,
yeah.
See, like I haven't even seen that. That is like how big those are.
It's twice as big as a regular sized poker card. So.
Huh. Oh.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Not bad. There's 4 of those. I've only done one of them. That's the one you see there. The other 3 are blank right now. So I'm still working on that.
Yeah, but like with the design we see, like they put the right colors, so marketing.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice. Then we got the Havoc expansion that you explained, with its own set of rules, and yeah, like not solely concerning Havoc, but one of the things that I really liked listening to the videos is that you can really play the game and get the strategy that you want and win the way you want. That's something that I really like, and it's really Eve-like.
Well, and the other thing I try to communicate a little bit. Maybe I'll write an article about this tomorrow on my blog. Is one of the great things about sitting down. I don't know if you guys play a lot of board games, but one of the great things about sitting down with your friends is that you have a rule book, and if you all understand how the game works, you can also come to a conclusion amongst yourselves about how you want to play it. And one of the things I said today on Twitch was people were saying, well, how long does this, because CCP took 4 hours to play it. And from everything that we've heard from playtesters and everything, it's usually about 2 to 3 hours for 4 people, depending on how much you know the game. If you're just learning it, then every time you go to do something, you have to read the rule book, and you know how that goes. The first time through can be really kind of painful. But one of the ways that, the rules say that 10 victory points is victory. That's how many you have to win. But if you don't have a lot of time, you could all agree to just make that 5, or you could all agree to make it 8, or if you had a long day and you want to have some drinks and have a party and have some food brought in, you could agree to make it 20, and play twice as long if you're all friends, you're playing a board game, you can play it. You can make up rules if you want. That's one of the things I'm most excited about is, we are putting 112 spaceship models with a really good combat system in the hands of the EVE community. So when everybody gets this game, they're going to sit down and play it and everything, of course. But then I'm curious to see the creativity that comes out of that, because suddenly we're going to have a lot of spaceship models with a combat system. I wouldn't be surprised if we see at player meets like alliance tournaments in real life. Put 10 ships together and let's fight each other, and then see who wins, and then we'll go on a round robin and who would be the alliance tournament winner of that. I think there's a lot that the EVE community could come up with on their own. Just make up your own rules or use the combat system that comes with the game and have some fun with it.
Yes, indeed. Because like there's like a nice like a combat system.
Yeah, it's really cool actually. Yeah, how it works.
Could you explain it a little bit? I'm trying to find like a place where we can see it.
If you keep scrolling past down past all that stuff, there's animations actually that kind of.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm still here. I just want to sit. I'm just a bit tired.
Oh, it's okay. I think there's some. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so how it works is there's two sets of die. There's a white dice and black dice, and so each ship has a section on the card that shows how many of those it can use. Then it has abilities, and then there's cards that can modify that. There's event cards and strategy cards that can modify or change how you approach combat. So those are the factors that can create variation in each of the. So it's not just the same thing every time. So you can pick a strategy or pick an event card or other things that can change how combat works. And then each of the dice has lock symbols and explosion symbols and different symbols on it. So when you roll it, you have to be able to get lock on your opponent, and then you also have to be able to deliver damage. So the small ships like the interceptors and the destroyers, they can lock better, but they do less damage, obviously, and they don't have as many hit points. And as you go up, the bigger ships are harder to lock. So battleships don't lock small ships very easily. But if they do manage to get a lock on you, you're probably going to die because they do a lot of damage. But then again, there's variations to that and strategies on how you might be able to deflect that damage and stay alive a little longer. So it's all, just a strategy about what types of fleet, and then when you're in combat, you can give each of the three ship classes different orbits. So there's the main orbit and then supporting ships. So like right there, you see that they're putting one ship forward and then two ships behind each one, or they're in three on that one. Those three are in support role. So supporting ships could give bonuses and then also, stand ready to take over if the main ship dies.
Nice.
So it has a lot of variation and a lot of potential, and then of course it all comes down to die rolls, which adds its own randomness to the whole process. So pretty cool. Yeah. Extremely well thought out, and I think they did a great job.
Yeah, I can't wait to play that thing, sir. Seriously, it's going to be awesome.
I think so too.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So people can just go on the Kickstarter and register there. That's as simple as that, right?
Yep. Just put your information in, just like you would on any website you were buying something for. And then also, I will say too that a lot of people what they're doing is there's a level at which you can just put $1 in. So and then wait and see. As the campaign develops, if new things come out, or a lot of people are doing that for the 200% because we're not sure yet exactly if the expansions are going to be available in 200% or not. So a lot of people are waiting to see that news. I know the guys at Titan Forge were meeting with a supplier today to find out some more information about that. So hopefully that information will come out later this week or early next week.
Yeah, so it's the capital option. It's quite impressive.
Yeah, that box is 3 feet by 3 feet. That's how big it is.
Oh yes, I got it right yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless people. I don't know that I have room in my house for that, but yeah.
Oh, that's actually really, really great. Okay, let's have a look if we did not miss too much. So yeah, Dam, you added one of your questions.
Yeah. I was I was asking myself, do you think you're gonna reach every unlock? Because you said you have more unlock than that. So do you think you're gonna reach them all?
I hope so. I think I've helped people get to Kickstarters before. Like I did work on Andrew's book. I helped with the maps, and I drew some artwork and stuff for Andrew's book. I wasn't involved in the Kickstarter for that, but obviously I supported it. And I've done that for some friends, on other projects and stuff. But this is the first time that I've actually been involved, and so I'm learning a lot about how Kickstarter works and how the process works and things. But one of the things that I've heard is kind of the rule of thirds. So apparently, you basically raise a third of your funds in the first 48 hours, and then a third at the last 48 hours because people start to panic and they want to make sure they get in, and then a third the rest of the time. And so if that follows through, I think that that's very impressive, and that would be pretty awesome. And I think that we would be able to pretty much fulfill everything that we have on our plate.
Nice.
And then new ideas keep coming up, and I think that we have a lot of ideas that were that we talked about doing, but that were a little bit too big to be stretch goals, and that might be separate things for later. So I think that we've talked amongst ourselves about some potential ideas for other games or other things that might also be set in the EVE universe that we might do later on down the road.
Like a wormhole expansion?
The wormhole expansion is under the table. So when you put the game together and you put it on top of the table, under the table, you can't see it, but it's there. It's the wormholes. The wormhole space is there. I'm just kidding. And also probably Potchfin's there's too, probably behind you. It's probably behind you. Yeah. It might be behind you right now.
Yeah, right.
No, but yes, maybe a wormhole expansion or a Potchfin Triglavian thing or something. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give away everything.
No. Well,
no, that's okay.
It's just all blue sky. It's all blue sky right now, but there's a lot of ideas out there.
Yeah, that's actually really nice. Like really. Also, I've got some other things that are not necessarily related to the game, but I found this website. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, so I'm officially licensed by CCP to create EVE-inspired artwork and sell it on my website at rixxjarvix.com. I haven't been doing a lot of that recently because obviously I've been very, very busy with another project. But I do have a lot of things in the background that I've been working on. And you can posters printed on paper or aluminum with frames or without frames. And I have a bunch of them on the walls behind me in my office and in my home. Excuse me. I sell them all over the world. The posters are created on demand. So in 32 different locations around the world to save on shipping and handling. So wherever you order them from is the closest place to you will be the one producing them and then shipping them to you. So you also save on tax and VAT and other issues. So you get to pick your own level of shipping and everything, but you save a lot of money that way. And so I'm just going to keep doing that until CCP tells me to stop. So kind of proud of that one. I tried for a long time to get that license from CCP, and pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got one of those on the metal option.
It's so cool. I can't tell you how cool it is to know that I get pictures from people who get them in the mail and get them up on their walls and in their game rooms, and then they'll take pictures and send them to me, and it's just really awesome to know that there's people all over the world with your artwork up on the wall, and they look at it every day. It's very humbling and a strange experience, but it's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's really cool. For us, it's the first thing that you see when you enter the house. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah. And I mean that was again one of the ways that Titan Forge found me was through that website, because they started Googling, Eve art, and came across that website in my Flickr portfolio, and said, "Who's this Rixx Jarvix guy, and how do we get in touch with him?" So they looked me up on Discord.
Yeah. Then we got this thing. Oh, sorry, if you want to.
No, go ahead. No, it's just awesome how, totally random occurrences and coincidences can lead to some pretty amazing things that happen in your life.
Yes. Oh, yeah, indeed. Need to be open to all those opportunities. Anything could happen. So, Evil Gunda, what's that?
That's my blog. I've been writing for 14 years. Started writing that in January of 2010. It was just, blogs were kind of popular back then. Probably they're not super popular now, but, excuse me, they were kind of popular, and I had been reading a few other Crazy Canucks, who's also a Canadian, and a good friend of mine, Dave Perry. He was writing a blog. He was the kind of the coordinator of the blog community, and he published a list of all the bloggers that were writing about Eve, and so I've been reading his blog for about 6 months after I started playing, and I was already writing blogs for clients, and my company at the time had its own blog. So I thought, why not start one and just kind of chronicle my adventures in Eve? And it's kind of just exploded over the years to be a lot more than that. But just still keep it going, keep writing. And I'm not going to stop. So as long as I'm playing Eve, I'm going to be writing in the blog. So might as well just keep it going. And it helps me now to remember things. It's like when somebody in corporation asks, what was that war about in 2012? I just look it up on the on the blog, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what it was about. So it's kind of cool to have it that way too.
And it's in your own words, so it's easier for you to remember it. That's actually really nice.
And honestly, I think at some point I'll probably turn it into a book. Fingers crossed if I have the time, but I would like to do that. Just turn it into a book. My adventures in Eve or something. But we'll see.
Like the pirate in the space.
Mm-hmm. How I became a space pirate. Wow.
Yeah. Do you have
that would be nice, really.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I only got this avatar thing in my head now. And well, this year will we see the Titan free for all?
Yep. Yep. Yes. Every year, Stay Frosty and a band of part get together, and we produce about 20,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said 20? Yes to Titan free for all.
Titan free for all. No.
And he started saying 10,000 of them.
Yeah, 10,000 avatars. Talk about tie-dye. It'd be 0.002% tie-dye. All day it would just be warping to the sun. That would be it. Yeah. Whoever gets there first wins.
Yeah.
No, Frigate free for all. You tricked me. Frigate free for all. Yeah. It's our big annual event. We usually have it in March. We're going to have it in April this year, I think. And we haven't set a date yet, but probably next week I'll be setting a date. I have to hear back from our production people on a schedule and a timeline because they're building 20,000 frigates, which will be fully fitted. And then we just hand those out, and everybody undocks and has a good time, and people come and try to destroy us and ruin our fun and, do hot drops and gate camps and other things, which is all part of it. So, it's a great day. And, the last few years, every year we tend to break the record from the previous year, and people just have a blast. And, for a lot of Eve players, it's the first time they ever get to experience PvP, because they're scared to do it. And just to get a free ship, undock, and go, figure it out. And a lot of people have come to me over the years and said that was the place where I got excited about Eve. And that's pretty neat. So that's why we keep doing it.
Yeah, well, it's really awesome. We've been there last year, and we've had a blast. Really, really great. Amazing. And now my security status is now able to take another event like that.
Right. That's awesome. Yeah, it's a lot of fun,
Yeah, and you just see someone in the space and you are like, oh, we already fly together, so we're just gonna team up and do something. And we got
Yeah.
one of our like best corpies like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice. Yeah. So you meet people and you talk to them, and CCP comes, and you get a chance to kill a CCP dev, which is always a blast. You could check that off the Z Kill, awards or whatever. You've killed a dev, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I've
Yeah.
got Hilmar my Ezekiel, so I'm good.
Nice, nice. Yeah, they had to do that in Jita, so I couldn't go. So it's always a bummer.
Couldn't like just buy like a bunch of emblems. So
Oh man, I counted them yesterday. I have 78 kill rights on Rixx. So getting in order to do that to fix my security status, I'd have to get rid of all of those kill rights.
oh really?
Hmm. Yeah.
Ouch.
So that's just not going to happen.
So like
I'm not killing myself 78 times just so I can go to Jita. I have alts for that, but it's no fun to use an alt to kill Hilmar because then it's not me killing Hilmar,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, maybe next time, or maybe the mechanics
Maybe.
will change. We don't know. Like things are changing so fast in the last years,
Mhm.
like mechanic wise. So we don't know what's gonna be able to do. Maybe we'll be able to go to corrupt up to Jita so that it becomes low sec.
Yeah, maybe he'll get corrupted by Deathless.
That would be
You know,
nice.
maybe I can convince Hilmar to undock a Titan during the Frigate Free for All
Oh.
in low sec. Now, how cool would that be? That just came to my brain. I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to text them right now
Yeah, sure.
and tell them to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's a great idea.
That you got this the idea with Saurian Advance on the Canuck
Mhm.
Chronicles.
Yep.
Oh, that's
Those
nice.
crazy Canadians were responsible for this idea, so I'm just going to blame you.
Yeah, and could you morph every frigate in a Titan so that we can do the
We'll just melt them together into a shape of an avatar. That'll work.
or like just like the fleet looks like an avatar when it warps.
Mm. Yeah, like or one of those what was that? Not Transformers, but the ones that there were animals, and then they all got together and formed a giant robot. I don't remember the.
Oh, like Power Rangers.
Yeah, all Power Rangers. They did that too. Yeah.
Wow.
Power Rangers. I once did a card set for Power Rangers. Believe it or not.
Wait, what? That's
Not one of the highlights of my career, but it's funny.
yeah. Wow.
Purple cards with lightning bolts on the back, and really bad photos from a TV show. But it was fun.
Oh yeah. Oh, I just remember like the baddies. Man, they were
So bad.
yes.
But my son enjoyed it, so it was for him really. Anyway,
Nice. So
always great talking to you guys. You have anything else for me, or?
well, that was actually my question right there. Damn.
No, I think we're good.
Great. Well, thank you
Awesome.
a lot for your time, Rixx.
Oh, anytime, really. I love doing this show with you guys. You're awesome, and your smiles and your optimism always bring just brings me up. Been a long day, but I'm leaving with a very positive attitude. So thanks for having me.
Well, it's our pleasure. So for every Canucks and friends, see you next Tuesday, for the next Canucks Capsuleers Chronicles. Au revoir.
Hi, Canucks and friends.
Oops.